The rain hammered down like it was trying to drown the whole damn town, turning the cracked asphalt of Elmwood High's parking lot into a river of regret. I stood there, soaked to the bone, fists clenched around the crumpled letter in my pocket, the one that said I was done, that tonight was the night I'd end it all under the old bridge where no one would find me. Then headlights cut through the storm like a miracle I didn't believe in anymore. And there he was, Jake Harlan, the Golden Boy quarterback, slamming on his brakes and leaping out before his truck even stopped, yelling my name like it was the only word he knew. "Alex, what the hell are you doing out here?" His voice cracked over the thunder, but he didn't wait for an answer. He grabbed my arm, not rough, but firm enough to pull me back from the edge of whatever abyss I'd been staring into, his blue eyes wild with something I couldn't name. Fear, maybe, or the kind of loyalty that doesn't come with strings. That was 2 years ago, the night Jake Harlan saved my life without even knowing how close I'd come to jumping. Now, here we are again, in the sticky heat of a late August afternoon in our nowhere town of Willow Creek, Ohio, and he's looking at me with those same eyes, demanding answers I swore I'd never give. "Why won't you let me in, Alex? After everything." I swallowed hard, the words sticking like gravel in my throat. "Because letting you in means admitting I'm still broken, Jake. And you? You're the one thing I can't afford to shatter." We'd been inseparable since freshman year, back when Willow Creek High felt like the center of the universe instead of a trap waiting to snap shut. Jake was the king of the gridiron, all broad shoulders and easy grins, the guy who could throw a 60-yard pass blindfolded and still have time to charm the lunch ladies into extra fries. Me? I was the quiet kid in the back of art class, sketching shadows while everyone else chased the light. We met during a mandatory PE dodgeball game, me dodging life as much as the red rubber balls, when he accidentally nailed me square in the chest. Instead of laughing it off like the jocks did, he jogged over, offered a hand up, and said, "Sorry, man. You're too good at hiding to hit on purpose." It was the first time anyone saw through my invisibility cloak. From there, it snowballed. Study sessions in his basement turned into late-night talks about everything and nothing. His pressure to live up to his dad's legacy as the town's former MVP, my endless loop of feeling like an outsider in my own skin. I hadn't come out yet, not to anyone. But Jake had this way of making the air feel safer, like secrets weren't bombs waiting to explode. We'd bike to the quarry on weekends, skipping stones and sharing dreams he never voiced to his teammates. "You're my anchor, Alex," he'd say, clapping me on the back a little too long, his touch lingering like he was afraid I'd vanish if he let go. But high school being high school, cracks started showing. Rumors swirled about me after someone found my sketchbook, pages filled with portraits of boys, not girls, the lines too tender, too telling. Whispers in the halls, "Freak. Weirdo." Jake shut them down every time, his voice a low growl that sent bullies scattering. "Back off, he's with me." It wasn't a lie, not really. We were always together, but the way he said it, protective and fierce, planted seeds I tried to ignore. Seeds of what if. The night he saved me, it all boiled over. I'd overheard my parents arguing about fixing me, my dad muttering about therapy camps and prayers, my mom crying into her coffee about what the neighbors would think. The letter was my escape plan, scribbled in the dim light of my room. Jake found me because he always knew when I was slipping, some twin sense bullshit we joked about. He didn't ask questions that night, just drove me to his house, wrapped me in his Letterman jacket that smelled like turf and pine, and let me crash on his couch while his folks were out of town. The next morning, over pancakes that tasted like cardboard, he finally spoke. "Whatever it is, we're in it together. Promise me you'll talk to me next time." I promised. And for a while, I kept it. We graduated, both scraping by with decent grades, him on a partial scholarship to Ohio State, me heading to community college for graphic design, too broke for anywhere else. Summers brought us back to Willow Creek, lazy days at the lake where we'd pretend the world wasn't spinning us apart. But distance has a way of sharpening edges. His calls grew shorter, filled with frat party stories and cheerleader dates that sounded scripted. Mine were quieter, laced with the ache of realizing I was gay, not just questioning, but certain, and that the one person I wanted to tell was slipping through my fingers. This summer, though, something shifted. Jake came home early, ditching a Buckeyes scrimmage with some vague excuse about family. He showed up at my door unannounced, duffel bag slung over his shoulder, that same lopsided grin cracking his face. "Missed my best friend," he said, pulling me into a hug that pressed too close, too real. We fell back into rhythm. Barbecues at his place, drives down Route 23 with the windows down, blasting Springsteen like we were still kids. But there was an undercurrent now, electric and unspoken. The way his knee brushed mine under diner tables. The pauses after, "I love you, man," that hung heavy. It all crashed down last week at the annual Willow Creek Fair. The air smelled of cotton candy and fried dough, lights strung like stars over the midway. We'd wandered the booths, him winning me a stuffed bear at the ring toss. "For your collection of my victories," he'd teased, when Tyler Reese, his old teammate turned town cop wannabe, sauntered up with a beer in hand and a smirk that screamed trouble. "Harlan, still playing house with the artsy fag?" Tyler slurred, loud enough for heads to turn. Jake's jaw tightened, but before he could swing, I bolted, heart pounding, the fair's joy curdling into shame. I didn't see him for days after that. Hid out in my room, sketching furious lines of bridges and falls, the bear propped on my windowsill like a mocking sentinel. Then yesterday, he cornered me at the quarry, the one place I thought was mine alone. "Why'd you run, Alex?" "From Tyler?" "From me." His voice was raw, stripped of the quarterback bravado. I mumbled something about not wanting to drag him down, but he stepped closer, water lapping at our feet. "Drag me? You're the only one keeping me afloat." I heard what you said to your mom on the phone last month. About being gay. And it didn't scare me. It made me realize I've been blind." My breath caught. The sun dipped low, painting the rocks gold, and for a second, I saw it. The boy who'd saved me, not as a hero, but as someone scared too. "Jake, you can't." "I can," he cut in, voice fierce. "I've been dating girls to fit the script, but it's you. It's always been you." His hand found mine, tentative, warm against the cooling air. And just like that, the dam broke. Not with fireworks, but with the quiet terror of possibility. We didn't kiss that night. Didn't need to. We sat on the quarry's edge until stars pricked the sky, hands linked, trading truths like lifelines. He confessed the pressure from his dad, the coach who saw any deviation as weakness. He'd disown me if he knew. I told him about the nights I'd cried myself empty, convinced love like ours was a fairy tale for other people. By dawn, we'd forged something fragile, a pact to figure it out, slow and secret. But Willow Creek doesn't do slow. Secrets fester here, fed by gossip and good intentions gone sour. The next afternoon, as we grabbed coffees at Millie's Diner, our first date, disguised as brothers hanging out, Disaster walked in wearing a sundress and a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Sarah Klein, Jake's ex from senior year, home from nursing school and sharper than ever. She'd always eyed me like I was competition she couldn't place, and now, catching us mid-laugh over shared fries, her gaze narrowed. "Jake Harlan, as I live and breathe," she cooed, sliding into our booth uninvited. Her perfume hit like a warning shot, floral and cloying. "And Alex, still sketching pretty pictures?" There was venom in the casualness, a probe for weakness. Jake stiffened beside me, his thigh pressing against mine under the table, a silent anchor. "Sarah, good to see you. How's Columbus?" She waved it off, leaning in. "Oh, saving lives. Unlike some." Her eyes flicked to me, then back. "Heard you bailed on football camp. Coach Harlan must be thrilled." It was a jab at his dad, but the real knife twisted when she added, "Rumor has it you're distracted by certain friends." The word hung, laced with implication. I felt heat crawl up my neck, the diner suddenly too small. Jake's hand found my knee, a squeeze that said stay, but my pulse roared. "We've got history," I muttered, forcing a smile. "Nothing more." Sarah's laugh tinkled like breaking glass. "History's fine, Alex. But Jake's got a future. Don't forget that." She stood, air kissing his cheek before sauntering out, leaving a chill in her wake. Outside, Jake kicked the gravel. "She's full of shit. Always has been." But doubt shadowed his eyes, the first fracture in our new foundation. That night, alone in my room, the bear stared at me from the shelf. I texted him, "You okay?" His reply came quick. "Yeah, just thinking about Dad's barbecue tomorrow. Come with?" I typed yes before fear could stop me, but sleep evaded, haunted by Sarah's words. Future. What if ours wasn't written in the stars, but in the fine print of small-town judgment? The Harlan family barbecue was Willow Creek's unofficial kickoff to fall, smoke curling from the grill like signals, neighbors mingling with plates piled high. Jake's house sat on the edge of town, a sprawling ranch with a yard that backed onto cornfields, the kind of place that screamed all-American. I arrived early, nerves jangling, armed with a six-pack of root beer as camouflage. Jake met me at the gate, his smile a balm. You made it. Dad's on his best behavior, mostly. Mr. Harlan was a bear of a man, retired coach with a handshake like a vice and eyes that sized you up in seconds. Alexander, he boomed, clapping my shoulder. Heard you're still drawing those cartoons. Ever think about real work? It was his version of welcome, rough around the edges. Mrs. Harlan, soft-spoken with laugh lines, pulled me into a hug. Ignore him, honey. Jake says your art's something special. She winked, and for a moment, I felt seen, not as the sidekick, but as family. The yard buzzed. Kids chasing fireflies early, ants gossiping over potato salad. Jake and I stuck close, flipping burgers and trading stories that skirted too close to truth. But tension simmered. Tyler Reese lounged by the cooler, nursing a beer, his stare like acid. Sarah was there too, perched on a picnic table in cut-off shorts, her laughter a siren call that drew Jake's old crowd. It peaked when Coach Harlan called Jake over for a man-to-man. I watched from afar, heart in my throat, as they huddled by the grill. Father gesturing wildly, son nodding tight-lipped. When Jake returned, his face was thunder. He knows I'm off my game. Thinks it's because of distractions. The word echoed Sarah's, and I wondered who had whispered. Before I could respond, Tyler ambled up, sloshing his drink. Distractions, huh? Like hanging with the wrong crowd. He clapped Jake on the back, too hard. Remember senior year, man? We ruled this town. Don't let some fairy tale ruin it. The yard hushed, forks pausing midair. Jake's fists balled. Shut your mouth, Ty? Alex's family. Tyler sneered. Family? Or something more? Town's talking, Harlan. Your dad's not blind. Mr. Harlan's head snapped up, the spatula clattering. What's this now? His gaze bored into us, the air thick as smoke. I froze, the root beer bottle slick in my hand. Jake stepped forward, voice steady. It's nothing, Dad. Just old bullshit from Ty. But the damage was done. Eyes darted, whispers ignited. Sarah watched with a satisfied smirk, her sundress fluttering like a flag of victory. I slipped away then, mumbling excuses to Mrs. Harlan, the cornfield swallowing me whole. Jake caught up at the fence, breathless. Alex, wait. That wasn't your future, Jake. I cut him off, voice breaking. I heard it. I see it. Go back. Be the son he wants. He grabbed my arm, eyes fierce in the fading light. I want you. This. Us. It's worth fighting for. But as I pulled away, the first raindrops fell, washing away the barbecue's warmth. Worth fighting for? Or just another misunderstanding waiting to bury us? Days blurred into a haze after the barbecue. Willow Creek's rumor mill churned overtime. Texts from mutual friends laced with concern or curiosity. My mom shooting me worried glances over dinner, asking if Jake and I had fought. I avoided the quarry, the diner, anywhere his ghost might linger. Instead, I buried myself in freelance gigs, digitizing old family photos for extra cash, the glow of my laptop a cold companion. Each click revealed frozen moments. Jake at 8, gap-toothed grin. Us at 16, arms slung casual, eyes saying more. On the fourth day, my phone buzzed with a voicemail, his voice rough from disuse. Alex, please. Dad's pissed. Yeah, but I told him the truth. About me. About us. He's processing. Come over. We need to talk. Processing. The word tasted like pity. I deleted it, but it looped in my head, a siren song of hope laced with dread. Sarah struck next, cornering me at the post office where I picked up art supplies. She leaned against the counter, flipping her hair, all faux sympathy. Heard about the barbecue drama. Jake's always been impulsive, saving strays, playing hero. But you? You're not a project, Alex. Her words dripped honeyed poison. Think about his scholarship. The scouts. One wrong move, and poof, gone. I clutched my parcel tighter, pulse thundering. What's your angle, Sarah? Jealous. She laughed, low and sharp. Protective. He deserves the life he was born for. Not this detour. She gestured vaguely at me, as if I were a smudge on the map. That night, resolve cracked. I drove to the Harlans, the truck's wipers battling a sudden squall. The porch light glowed like a beacon, Jake silhouetted in the doorway before I even killed the engine. He looked wrecked, hair unkempt, eyes shadowed. But when he pulled me inside, his hug was steel and solace. Mrs. Harlan bustled in with tea, her smile tentative. "We missed you, dear." Mr. Harlan was absent, at the VFW, Jake explained. We retreated to the basement, the same spot of our high school marathons, now heavy with adult weight. Posters of Buckeye greats peeled at the edges. The old couch sagged under us. He didn't take it well, Jake admitted, tracing patterns on my palm. Yelled about legacy, about not throwing away everything for confusion. The word stung, but he rushed on. I walked out, told him if he couldn't see me, all of me, then he lost both sons. My throat tightened. Jake, that's necessary, he finished, fierce. You're not a phase, Alex. You're home. He leaned in, forehead to mine, breath mingling. No kiss, but the almost was a spark in the dim. We talked until the storm broke. Plans whispered like contraband. Weekend getaways to Columbus, coming out to my folks on my terms. Laughter crept in, tentative, over memories of failed prom dates and quarry dives. For the first time, us felt possible, not perilous. But dawn brought reality. A knock echoed. Mr. Harlan, home early, face like carved granite. He fixed on our joined hands, the basement stairs creaking under his weight. "Son, we need to finish this." Jake tensed, but squeezed my hand. "Dad, meet Alex. My partner." The word hung, bold and bare. Mr. Harlan's jaw worked, eyes flickering, not with rage, but something softer, cracked open. "Partner," he repeated, tasting it. Silence stretched, then, I was wrong. About a lot. He sank onto the steps, defeated. "Your ma talked sense into me. Said if I push you away, I lose the best part of myself." Tears pricked my eyes. Jake's did too. A bridge mended, tentative, in the morning light. Yet peace was fleeting. Tyler's next move came via social media. A blurry photo from the barbecue, captioned, "Some heroes fall hard, Willow Creek truth." It went viral locally, likes piling like accusations. Comments flooded, slurs, prayers, calls for Jake to man up. Sarah liked it first. Jake saw it during practice, his phone blowing up on the sidelines. He quit mid-drill, helmet tossed, storming to his truck. I met him at the field, heart in my throat. "It's bullshit," I said, climbing in. "Ignore it." "Can't," he growled, peeling out toward the lake. Tyler's suspended, but the damage. Dad saw it. Said maybe I should lay low. Lay low. The words chilled. At the water's edge, we skipped stones, fury in each plunk. "This town," he spat. "It chews up different and spits out bones." I nodded, anger mirroring his. "Then we fight back. Together." He turned, eyes blazing. "How?" "By running. By owning it." The idea sparked. My art, his voice. A blog, anonymous at first, stories of queer kids in small towns, resilience over ruin. Show them we're not afraid. He paused, stone mid-throw, then grinned, slow and sure. "You're a genius, Alex." We launched it that week. Creek Confessions, raw sketches paired with Jake's essays on pressure and pride. It spread like the photo, but with light, messages pouring in from hidden allies, kids thanking us for visibility. Sarah confronted us at Millie's, face flushed. "You're destroying him," she hissed at me. "For what?" "Likes." Jake stood tall. "For truth. Join or get out of the way." She deflated, whispering, "I was scared for you." Then fled, a villain unmasked as just human. The climax hit at homecoming. Stadium lights harsh, crowd electric. Jake started, arm cannonading passes, but midway, Tyler, drunk, defiant, stumbled onto the field, megaphone in hand. "Harlan's a fraud. Queer and quitting." Chaos erupted. Boos, cheers, security scrambling. Jake froze, then dropped his helmet, mic'd up. "Tyler's wrong. I'm gay. And proud. This town's my home. I won't hide anymore." The stand split. Gasps, applause, stunned silence. I watched from the bleachers, chest bursting. When he spotted me, he ran, straight through the melee, pulling me down to the turf in a tackle of an embrace. "You did it," I whispered, world fading to just us. We did. His kiss finally landed, soft, defiant, under the floodlights. Willow Creek shifted after that. Not overnight. Prejudices linger like fog, but cracks let light in. Mr. Harlan cheered loudest at the next game, arm around my shoulders. My parents hugged me tight, tears and acceptance flowing. Sarah even apologized, coffee in hand. I was wrong. Be happy. Jake and we built slow, Columbus weekends, art shows for my sketches, his coaching dreams inclusive. The quarry became our sanctuary, stones skipped with promises. He saved me once from the bridge. Now, together, we're saving each other, from the dark, from doubt. And in the quiet moments, hand in hand, I know, this is the life worth every fight.